I don't want to be like your assistant.
All right, Jerry, I think we're ready.
Are we ready?
We're ready.
Do we get to hit him as he goes by?
So is your family involved in all that shooting?
Tony, I'm glad to see you carrying that cup.
Thank you.
There were a few of us that constantly had those.
Connections.
So as they come down, if y'all want to collapse in, y'all can once they're through. Yeah, that's a good term.
You see, you gotta be careful how you use the word collapse with this age group.
Yes, we've all gone from MySpace to MyChart pretty fast.
You know what the penalty is? We're gonna have to watch that.
So Jerry, Mr. Carpenter, they're gonna stand over there, and Jerry's in the video, and I'm going to pull this down.
Oh, it's behind me. Yeah.
I'll just trade places with y'all.
Now I get it.
There.
You got a camera right behind you.
There she comes, here she comes, here she comes.
Okay.
Hey, come over here if you would like.
We'll do that, brother.
I'm hoping everybody can hear me. At this time, we come to the heart of today's ceremony. The unveiling of a plaque that will forever mark this space to honor a man whose leadership helped shape the very foundation of our city government. It's only fitting that this administrative wing, the very hub of the day-to-day work that keeps our city moving, should bear his name. This space will now serve as a lasting reminder of his legacy, inspiring current and future public servants to lead with the same commitment and care that Mr. Carpenter exemplified. And so with deep appreciation and respect, we now unveil this plaque in dedication to Mr. C. Please work. Mr. Carpenter, you have the floor if you want to say a few remarks.
A few?
A few, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I appreciate it. This is like a family reunion. And coming here in 1994, we drove down Veterans, and big fast sign was up there on a big billboard. And we came into town, saw some of the signs for the sexually oriented businesses, and we were wondering which pigs they were talking about. And so anyway, I can remember the T-shirt that I gave David. Said Harker Heights, lingerie capital of Texas. And I can remember going to the council of that and saying, this is not acceptable, people.
Yeah.
And so it was a whole different world back then. But I appreciate all the kind words y'all said, but you don't ever do anything by yourself. You know, we starting back in the 90s, we got together, the first group, I think maybe Jerry and Lisa might have, I'm not sure about Lisa, but Jerry was there, Patty was there, I guess, and we had something called Vision 2000. And that was basically getting citizens together, taking a critical look at the city. Where are we today? What can we do possibly? What are the possibilities that are out there? And just being critical of yourself and then coming up with objectives to go ahead and try to accomplish some of the goals that people have said they wanted to see in the community. So, it's going back to the citizens, then the good work of the department heads. And at the time we came here, we did not have a lot of money to hire experienced department heads. What we had to do was hire people that we thought would fit into the organization and train and bring them into the culture and be part of the culture. And that's what you see now with Jerry and Lisa and a lot of the department heads is an extended family, basically, that have bought into the idea of service to the community. And that doesn't happen by chance. It happens just because a lot of people are going together in the same direction. And, you know, this building is really interesting. That Vision 2000 group that I was mentioning, one of the things we talked about was a bond issue. And the bond issue that we did, the very first one, was for this building, for the recreation center, and Carl Levin Park. And it's interesting because not only did we need those facilities, they were necessary at the time, and we accomplished it, but it was also our first really effort at creating economic development as well. The 5 acres that this building is on and the recreation center was donated by Dr. Miller. We took the value of that donation and used that as a match to build a recreation center. We also agreed, part of the donation that he gave us, we agreed that we would put Miller's Crossing in, which meant we had a street, we had water, sewer, and it went to Carl Levin Park. Well, by putting the street in and the infrastructure, it meant that his property became valuable. He was able to sell to the post office, Papa's and all the businesses over there, and we had access to our buildings as well as Carl Levin Park. And again, some of the council, Mike Miller, Mike, I don't know if you were here that time or not. But,
He's way back there.
yeah, Mike Helm was real involved, and John, I don't know if you were on the council yet.
I was on P&Z, got on the council
Okay.
in '99.
Yeah, but anyway, just extending that road through the park, again, it was all kind of all connected together. The owners of the property were Educational Outfitters is all the way to Starbucks. They had one owner owned all that property. They agreed to give us 2 acres of land if we would put the infrastructure in that runs behind those businesses and around the park. And so we said, yes, we'll try to do that. So we went ahead and applied for a grant through the state, infrastructure grant, and it was approved. We got a business to go in with us. They turned around and did the grant. It was accepted. We went ahead, the grant paid for the road, the water and the sewer, and then the Educational Outfitters went up there. And that meant all that property along Frontage Road was valuable. Prior to that, it really wasn't. And then Carl Levin Park itself, the retention pond that you see in the park, serves a drainage function for all that property. So what you do in the city is you try to look and see what's out there that you need to do. Just look at the different ways of doing things and try to come up with different ways to do it. Form public-private partnerships if you can. And just try to use what money you have as wisely as you can. And at the same time, working with your city council and your staff and your citizens to say this is acceptable. You know, this is what we want to do. It's a lot easier as a city manager to go in and tell your council, this is what your citizens say they want, and than it is to say, this is what I want. And that's really important. So that Vision 2000, we had an Exploring New Heights around 2000. Somewhere 5 or 6 years later, we had a Vision Exploring New Heights 2. And what those things do is just build on each other. You know, what you'll see is a lot of things that are redundant. You know, citizens want certain things, and what they say 5 years later is what they said 5 years earlier. Yeah, I mean, you've improved, you've done some of those things, but, you know, some you haven't finished, and they say it again. So you go back to the council and say, hey, this is what your people still want. Then you do it again 5 years later. So it kind of gives you a guide on where you're at, what have you accomplished, and what you still need to do. Now, you know, where the city is now, it's not where it was when I came in. You know, there's some financial constraints. A lot of the growth that's happened. I would say, take a look at where you're at now, and be critical of where you're at. Look at where your strengths and your weaknesses are, and look and see what's possible and deal it with what you can really do and how you can best spend your money. You know, it's a different environment. Now, things always change. How do you keep up with it? How do you evolve to really function as well as you can? I'm really honored that all of y'all are here. This tickles me pink. It really does. I never expected this. And in fact, I didn't know what was going on when I came in here. So this is special to me. Every one of you are. And Dana, thanks for hanging in with me all these years. And that's pretty much what I have to say.
Steve, don't stop yet. I've got 2 minutes of memory left.
Were you seeing that to my phone?
So we have some drinks and refreshments in here. We took the banner down and put it on the table if anybody else wants to sign it. But if I could have all of the previous council members, mayors, and city staff, and our current council members meet us back in the council chambers for just a moment with Mr. C. We're going to take a group picture. There's a lot of Harker Heights history here. We want to capture
Yeah,
that.
there really is.